what happens when great things...
Hello and welcome to our wonderful series, which is called Reflections, where we listen to stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. The topic for today's session is a great thirst for spiritual knowledge. And to share with us, we have Sister Gail Howell. Gail has been practicing Raj Yoga meditation for over 24 years. Gail was a businesswoman, married with 3 children. Hospitality industry being family business, Gail followed suit and was running a hotel. Gail is currently based in Western Australia. And the story that Gail is going to share today is about some early learnings about her internal and external world and how ups and downs in life led her to seek spirituality and then grow further into it. So, hearty welcome, Gail, and looking forward to hearing your story about a great thirst for spiritual knowledge. Welcome once again, and it's over to you.
Thank you. Om Shanti. Greetings of peace to everyone. Yes, my life really was one of quite external crisis, but a lot of inner peace that helped me through the crisis. And I remember where it all started really, and it was when I lost my mother, passed away when I was at the age of 5. And I remember my father talking to myself and all my siblings that your mother has gone to heaven. And I thought, well, can we go too? And my father said, no. And I really pondered on that, even at the age of 5. And I would often find myself thinking about heaven. I wonder what heaven would be like. So as a child, I became very introverted and would dream up things about heaven. And I felt this energy within myself that was apart from myself. There was 2 sides of myself that I was contemplating with. But the initial external and internal impact of that suggestion that my mother had gone to heaven really started me on my spiritual journey. I was always a meditator, even before I came to the Brahma Kumaris. I would follow different spiritual insights and became interested in anything that was spiritual, even psychic development classes. I went to many different events, even while running a hotel. I was always a busy lady, but all that yearning of spirituality was my whole basis of living. And so I could see the external world the way it was, and it just didn't fit with me. It just didn't seem right. Something felt like something was missing. But I would often go into my internal world, my interworld, and it made sense for me. And I would always feel this energy of goodness within myself when I'd go through a crisis. And I think that's what kept me going, that feeling of that goodness within me. So from my hotel life, I decided after the marriage breakup that I would leave, and I knew that within myself, I had to heal. I really didn't know what I was going to do, but I then refocused my life. And because I had 3 children, I needed to work. So I went into study, and I studied in the social welfare area with disability and the mental health. And that helped me extremely. especially where I needed to heal emotionally, mentally and spiritually. Then when I was in the hotel, I came across the Brahma Kumaris, and I used to go to creative meditations, and I loved the creative visualization meditations. And so that early introduction of the Brahma Kumaris was where I followed it up after I left the hotel. And by that time, my children had become where they could go out and work, and my sons joined the Navy. My daughter went around Australia with her partner, so I was on my own, and what an opportunity. So I would go to the Brahma Kumaris, and I was introduced to the 7-day course. Well, since taking that course, I have never looked back. It has been the instigator for me really healing my life and understanding what all the events were about that occurred in my life. I very much learned, and one of the sayings within the Brahma Kumaris is, don't give sorrow and don't take sorrow. And that really moved me. I thought, yes, I know what giving sorrow is, but what do you mean by taking sorrow? And so then I really understood taking sorrow too is just as bad as giving sorrow. Because taking sorrow too, I learned that it was all about my own self-respect and not giving sorrow. I was always a giver, and I worked hard, and I often gave, but sometimes it was to the detriment of myself. But as I went along within the Brahma Kumaris, I remember saying to one of the sisters at the centre, well, how do I become a member? I really felt that that was going to be my path that I needed to follow. And after 24 years, I'm still as enthusiastic about this knowledge as I was back then. And so now I'd like to read a little introduction of one of Anthony's books, but it's just a little bit of reading that really focuses on how my life was and what I have learnt from the Brahma Kumaris. So it's called The Hero. The hero is the one who has awakened to realise the mechanics of self-deception, is to find true alternatives and live them fully. The hero decides not to be a puppet that dangles from the strings, nor the victim who constantly blames. The hero makes a definite shift out of pain and turmoil to freedom and meaningfulness. With the armour of humility, the hero remains alert and attentive to the inner dragon of selfish desires, to their false promises, flattering praise, and especially to their clever propaganda. The hero can remain a hero because he or she remains inwardly childlike, constantly in appreciation, constantly in an apprenticeship, and therefore open and willing to reflect, renew, and adjust at any moment. Being the apprentice of the great master, the hero is taught to serve and to care. On the constant quest for realisation, the hero keeps remembrance of the one who is the great inspirer. In times of great challenge, the hero demonstrates the skills to master any situation. By remaining centered, always in inner peace, the hero has developed a calmness and clarity which can discern with perfect accuracy. Like the arrow which hits the mark every time, attention and honesty enable the hero to recognise and conquer the dragons of deception. And I think that really states how my life really has become now. And a lot of fighting of the dragon, the battle, like Arjuna, they say, there's always the battle. But the battle now I feel is, I no longer have any regret of my past, but always looking towards the future and following the spiritual life that I have now in a very enthusiastic way. So Om Shanti. Do you have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer?
Yes. Firstly, thank you for sharing your story, Gail. One interesting thing that you said, that, yeah, we do know about not giving sorrow to anyone, but you also shared that we shouldn't be taking sorrow. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more on that? And any experience that you might have, how you put it into practice?
Yeah.
So it would be lovely to hear on that.
Okay. I'll use an example. I remember one time at the centre, when I went to the centre for meditation, and the sister said to me, you know, and I was going through a little bit of a crisis, and she said, really straightforwardly, stop taking sorrow. And what she meant by that was, I was doing everything to help my daughter, who was in a domestic violence situation. And, you know, a mother really tries to protect her child and help her child. But it came to the situation where I was getting her out of trouble all the time, and to the detriment of myself, really. And she just said to me, stop taking her sorrow. And I thought, wow. And I really turned on that a lot. Yes, I was. I was taking her sorrow and help her, but she wasn't helping herself. So she depended on me to get her out of the situations all the time. And instead of helping her grow and find that self-respect to leave the relationship, I was continually helping her out of it. And I understood deeply what the sister meant by stop taking her sorrow. And I've lived by that. That really made a mark in my life, where I had to really stand back and I remember Shivani saying, you know, you've got to realise what is in your control and what is not in your control. And I live by that too. I try and live by, this is not in my control, and I detach and step back. And that's helped my own family, and it's helped my children very much by helping them to find their own self-respect. So that was a big one for me.
Would you say that there is a kind of a balance between not taking sorrow, but still fulfilling your responsibility? How do we find that balance?
Yeah, and I think it, you know, everything is, you've got to find that balance, literally in everything. I have always felt a responsibility towards my children, but I've learnt to really know when to step in and when to step out. But, you know, the love will always be there, and the caringness will always be there for my family. But I know now when to step in and when to step back and help them to, I always try and help them and empower them to make their good choices in life. So I look at my life now and I'm making good choices for myself constantly. And it's so refreshing. And I live such a simple but wonderful life. And, you know, and the connection with God and really knowing who God is also has played a big part in my life. And so I think contentment in my life now is at the forefront. And the qualities of my being now is in the front. And I think, you know, even my father saying to me or to my whole family about heaven, I understand now, yes, I am going to heaven. But it's not the heaven that I thought, you know, was up there somewhere. But having that realization in myself that there is a heaven, that spurred me on spiritually, really.
That's beautiful. Then we can see the mention of contentment that you said is clearly evident from the way you are sharing your story with us. So that's beautiful.
Well, I now am in an area in WA where I'm able to give the course to others. I'm in an outreach area, so I'm able to give the course now of Raja Yoga meditation to other souls. And for me, that is just wonderful. And I can help others and empower others with giving the Raja Yoga course.
So can we now say that from a state of maybe taking sorrow, you have now not only stopped taking sorrow or giving sorrow, but you have started giving happiness and sharing happiness with everyone, which is like a completely beautiful way to transform the self.
I had early in life, I had a real realization of karma, but I really didn't understand it properly. And in learning in my area of, you know, spirituality, I learnt a lot about karma, and I see now where my actions are creating good karma in my life. And so that's my aim and objective, not to create bad karma.
Yes, absolutely. So we do good actions, and that leads to good results coming back to us, as they say. So yeah, that's a beautiful aim, and I'm sure we all would love to be on that path.
Yes.
And you did touch upon that, you know, you've been practicing meditation for such a long time, and you give courses to others as well. So I'm sure our viewers would also like to have a little experience of the meditation practice you do.
Yes.
And if you would be happy to guide our viewers to a commentary and give them a beautiful meditation.
Okay.
That would be wonderful.
Would be delighted.
Thank you.
So I take this moment of silence. I let go of the external world. I go into myself, my inner world. I become calm, like a pond, calm and peaceful. As I become quiet, in my silence, peaceful, I feel the goodness within. I feel the energy of goodness within me. I am that energy of goodness. I feel my inner being at peace, quiet, calm, contented. And as I go into that silence, I extend that silence, that peace out into the world, beyond the external. I connect to the source of that silence. Peaceful, the loving, caring light. I'm at peace with the loving, caring light. That calm silence is the one we call God. I have made connection to the power of silence, the one we call God. Just sit for a while in that power of silence, generating peace to the world. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Gail, for that beautiful commentary and giving our viewers a beautiful experience.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure everyone enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you.
And I would also like to thank our viewers for joining in today. And if you would like to know more about us, please do visit our website, www.brahmakumaris.org.au. All our meditation center addresses and their programs are listed on there. So feel free to visit any of your local meditation center to avail more benefit. So thank you once again for joining, and we will see you again with another inspiring story. And thank you once again, Sister Gail.
Pleasure.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.